Well, what's for dinner? Oh, I am making skirt steak with some carbonara and a salad. Won't take long. That comment was enough to get Chet to turn toward me with an incredulous look on his face, mixed with some anger or frustration. First, the only thing that made sense in that lineup was steak. The rest sounds like yuppie trash. Second, did Samantha forget how to cook? Why are you cooking, son? That's not your job. I actually like cooking. It's relaxing. Huh? Are you sure you're a man?
Chet,
I wasn't talking to you, woman. Shut it.
it's okay, Mom. We can talk in the dining room.
I had no idea how old-fashioned my significant other's parents were. I love Samantha with all my heart, but she was always telling me how different I was from the other men she had dated. I was more kind, gentle, and patient, that we were lucky to find each other when we did. I found it odd that she never introduced me to her family, specifically her parents. Whenever I brought up that I would love to meet them, she would say how busy they were and would change the topic. This was weird as we had recently gotten engaged. Seriously, Sam, I would love to see your parents. Now that we're engaged, I think it would be great to see what they're like. And I have no doubt they want to meet the person their daughter is going to be with for the rest of her life.
I am sorry, hun, but honestly, I don't think my parents will like you that much. But know that I love you so much that their opinion doesn't matter to me. I will always want to be with you, regardless of how they feel.
But why wouldn't they like me?
Well, my father is a bit traditional. He's always been a blue-collar worker. He's very religious. The old-fashioned type, but to an extreme.
That doesn't seem too bad. My father worked at a factory most of his life too, after he got out of the military.
Yeah, but my father wasn't happy I went to college and actually almost disowned me because of it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I love him, I think. But he's very difficult, and we don't always see eye to eye. For now, don't expect them to be supportive of us. Plus, he wouldn't approve of you not having calluses on your hand, or that you bring your car to a mechanic to get an oil change. He would hate that, actually, that you don't hunt or fish.
What? You have to be kidding, right? You do know that I know how to do an oil change? I just have a busy job. That pays well, I might add. It keeps me indoors, and isn't stability more important?
Like I said, he's a bit weird. Let's not worry about him for now.
So I put her father out of my mind, and lived life as normal. One day, several months later, before we had a hard date set for our wedding, Samantha had become a little sullen. She became a bit more distant, and then would have bouts of being very affectionate and clingy. By the third day, she finally came around to tell me what's the issue.
Hey, Norm. I've been thinking about this for a few days, but my father called asking to come visit us for a bit. He and Mom want to see both of us.
That's okay with me?
You don't get it. He's already mad that we live together without being married. He says he's willing to let that slide since we're engaged, but he wants to make sure we're a good match. Don't worry, I told him that. I get to decide if you're a good match for me, not him. We had a fight, but in the end, he still wanted to come with Mom for a week.
I am okay with that, I guess.
I can tell him no if you want.
If you want to make things work with your parents, I would never want to stand in the way of that. It's okay. He and your mom can come over. I don't mind. The time between that conversation and her parents coming went fast. They were due to arrive, and I was feeling anxious. I knew Samantha loved me, but I did want her parents to love me too, or at the very least, respect me. The day they showed up was the beginning of a rough start. When her father met me at the door, he shocked my hand by squeezing it as hard as he could while staring me in the eyes. I don't know what he expected. My father instilled a sense of health and physique in all his children, so I was easily able to match his shake and even went a little further, which seemed to both make him confused and a bit angry. In the end, I stopped the handshake and introduced myself. Hello, my name is Norman. You can call me Norm. Call me Chet. Samantha says you want to marry her? Yes, sir, I love her very... Your hands seem a bit soft, boy. You got anything to drink? Yes, but can I help you bring in any luggage? You're not going to get anywhere brown-nosing me, boy. Besides, the women can take care of that. The women were outside chatting while moving some heavy luggage. Although they seemed more than capable, there was enough luggage that helping would have been more respectful and made it one trip instead of two. So I went out to help, feeling the eyes of Chet on my back. His scowl was apparent, even without me being able to see his face. Hey Sam, I met your father. I'd like to help bring some stuff in. And hello, Samantha's mother. How are you doing?
Hey, honey, thank you so much. Normally, Mom or I would be doing this. Mom, this is Norman. Norman, this is my mom, Bridget.
Hello, Bridget. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Norman. Nice to meet you, too. We better hurry. Chet doesn't like waiting.
I noticed right away that Bridget didn't like to hold any eye contact. She kept pulling down her long sleeves and was very fidgety, her eyes darting toward Chet every few moments. We got the luggage moved into the spare room while Chet had already made himself at home on the couch with a beer in hand and the TV on. His eyes mostly watched whatever sport was on the current channel. Well, what's for dinner? Oh, I am making skirt steak with some carbonara and a salad. Won't take long. That comment was enough to get Chet to turn toward me with an incredulous look on his face, mixed with some anger or frustration. First, the only thing that made sense in that lineup was steak. The rest sounds like yuppie trash. Second, did Samantha forget how to cook? Why are you cooking, son? That's not your job. I actually like cooking. It's relaxing. Huh? Are you sure you're a man?
Chet.
I wasn't talking to you, woman. Shut it.
It's okay, Mom. We can talk in the dining room.
I can help cook. I don't mind.
If you want, you can. But if you're a guest, it's really not a problem.
I grilled the steak and taught Bridget how to make a mean carbonara. Sam helped all around and made the salad. Chet sat the entire time, mumbling to himself and watching TV. He had already made it through most of the beer in the house, and once he made it through mine, he pulled out a 12-pack from his bedroom. We ate mostly in silence, with a few questions. So what do you do for a living, Norm? How do you expect to keep my Samantha safe and with a roof over her head? I am a software developer, and have been for a few years now, actually. Been at my current job for just over 2 years. Why only 2 years? Got fired from the last one? No, I quit. They weren't paying enough, so I got a better job that was closer to here. But things went more south after dinner. Samantha and I started collecting the dishes. Whoa, hold on. Why are you doing the dishes? Make the women do it. It's their job. I really don't mind doing the dishes. And again, you both are guests.
I don't mind doing the dishes.
See, it's her natural environment. She misses it. Just make her do them. I am perfectly fine doing the dishes. After awkwardly doing the dishes with Samantha and Bridget, I noticed some bruising on Bridget's arms. I didn't say anything except to Sam, who said that had been going on for years. Once done cleaning, we went back to the living room to see a passed-out Chet. Samantha, Bridget, and I actually stayed up a bit and talked. The tension now mostly gone, since Chet wasn't awake. Bridget was very funny and very soft-spoken, but she was quite sociable, especially after we had a nightcap. The rest of the week ended up about the same. I'd be at work, come home, and get ribbed for having soft hands and a job that wasn't manly. After Chet would drink too much, he'd pass out, and Samantha, Bridget, and I would hang out till late at night, having fun. Near the last day, that changed. Samantha accidentally spilled some juice on the floor. Hang on, hon. Let me get the mop real quick. Wait a damn minute! Why the shit is she not doing all the cleaning? She made the mess in the first place. We both clean here, and I am just helping.
Yeah, Dad. It's okay. Norm and I split all the chores. It's how we do things here.
You split the chores? Don't tell me he mops and sweeps. Does he do the laundry too? What type of man are you marrying here, Samantha?
A man who respects me.
A man who respects you? No. You need to respect him more. You're making him look like a damn sissy. Go get the mop girl and clean up your mess. No, Chet. I got this. As Samantha walked past Chet, Chet reached out and grabbed her arm very tightly, hard enough that Samantha let out an ouch.
Chet, there's no need to be so mean.
Chet slapped Bridget pretty hard. She fell to the ground, and Samantha got between her and Chet.
Dad, get...
Chet started to raise his hand, and all I saw was red. I pushed Chet to the floor. Get out or we will call the police. You think you scare me, boy?
I am calling the police, Dad. Enough is enough.
Although Chet was visibly upset, he didn't make a move toward any of us. He glanced at the door a few times, and at me, there was anger and a glint of fear in his eye. And eventually, the police finally came. Because there were witnesses and a very obvious bruise on Bridget's face and Samantha's arm, Chet was arrested. When the police were taking him away, Samantha told him he will never see his grandkids if he doesn't change. It was a surprise to us that after Chet was processed and before he got out on bail, Bridget said she was going to divorce him. She said that seeing how her daughter found a nice man made her reevaluate her life. Bridget was still afraid of Chet, but now had the courage to leave him. We helped where we could, plus there were lots of great resources for her in the city as well. He wasn't allowed at our wedding, which was wonderful, and we even took Bridget on our honeymoon to Spain. Samantha said she'd never seen her mom so happy in all her years. Last we heard, Chet had some guests come over for Christmas. It was his friend and his wife who came to spend some time. However, Chet started bossing his friend's wife around like a maid. It got to a point where he punched her for not mopping the house. Unfortunately for him, the friend arrived home exactly when that was happening and had to beat up Chet, breaking his leg, before taking his wife and leaving. Chet was afraid to involve the police because he knew he was at fault too. Chet's friend promised never to see Chet ever again, declaring him a horrible friend. Chet is now living by himself, drinking himself slowly to death, and none of his children were willing to visit him anymore. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.